Red-winged blackbirds are seen abundantly in summer, and the bird is exactly as the name implies. The male is all black except the red shoulder patches with a pale yellow outline. When resting, only the yellow is visible, but during displays and in flight, the red is very apparent. The female is black and brown striped with a black line over her eye. Immature males are similar but have an orange patch on the wing. Males arrive early in spring, like the second or third week in March, when there's usually still snow and ice on the fields and marshes. They probably should be called the harbinger of spring because they arrive before the robins. At first, the males try to establish their boundaries in the march, usually in the morning, but as there's no food there yet, they spend a lot of time in the afternoon in fields eating corn and grain. They sing from a high perch and display by spreading their wings and tail and showing the red patches. While eating, their epaulets or red patches are hidden, so there's peace among the flock. Later in the spring, when the females arrive, they move to freshwater marshes. At first, the males try to drive them away, but the females are very persistent in an area where they want to nest. He eventually chases her around a little and then claims her as his mate. Some are monogamous and some are polygamous. The most important thing to the male seems to be his territory. If a female is in his territory, she will be his mate. The territory is only a few feet, so there can be hundreds of pairs in a small area. She finds a nest site and constructs a nest almost immediately. She makes a platform by winding coarse wet material around several stems, then adds more plant material to make a cup and plasters it with mud, and then lines it all with fine grasses. This is usually on 2 or 3 cattails suspended above the water or in nearby bushes. She lays 3 or 4 eggs and incubates them for 12 to 13 days. The young hatch with very little hair and closed eyes. Their feed is dragonflies, damselflies, butterflies, flies, grasshoppers, spiders, and moths. The parents also remove any fecal sacs. The young fledge in about 2 weeks and are only dependent on the parents for another few days to a week. The immature generally start joining up in flocks along with other blackbird species and could number in the millions by fall and winter. The females are very self-sufficient in raising their young. The males don't help with the feeding very much, but they protect their family from predators like crows, ravens, hawks, and eagles. They fly toward them and dive bomb them. A single red-winged blackbird is aggressive enough to cause the predator many times larger to turn tail and fly away. Anything with red is a target, as people wearing red will painfully discover. While nesting, they will catch millions of insects to feed the young. They sing a rising in pitch and ending in a quivering trill. When alarmed, they have a descending whistle or harsh call. In the late summer and fall, they form large flocks, feeding on insects and grain, then returning to the marsh to roost.